Mics are on.
Mics are on, all right. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, 9 a.m., and it is time for our Madera County Board of Supervisors meeting. We're going to call the meeting to order. Council, do we have any additions to the agenda?
Chair, there are no additions to your agenda this morning.
Excellent. Can you please read our closed session items into the record?
Happy to do so. Good morning, everyone. For closed session today, under Government Code Section 54957.6, you have conference with your labor negotiators. For the county, you have Mr. Begay, Ms. Dixon, Ms. Mendez to talk about all units. That's all employee organizations, but not elected officials. Those are unrepresented employees. You have two existing litigation matter and one exposure to litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9. That's one case under paragraph number 3 of that subdivision D. Have conference with me about that and others. The existing litigations are Government Code Section 54956.9 subsection D1. That's Valley Groundwater Coalition versus the County of Madera. That's a Madera Superior Court case. The case number is on the agenda, the same for the longer case name, starting with Elizabeth Cardoza versus Madera County Groundwater Sustainability Agency. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Do we have any public comment on our closed session items this morning?
None online.
Seeing no public comment, we will retire into closed session.
I don't think
We were not on, were we? We're on now.
All right, it is 10 o'clock, which means it's time for our regular session of Madera County Board of Supervisors. Council, do we have any reportable action in a closed session?
Chair, there's no reportable action from closed session.
Excellent, thank you. At this time, I'll look to my colleagues for anybody they'd like to open and close the meeting in memory of. Seeing none, I would like to open and close the meeting in memory of Doug Deering. Doug was an amazing community member up in the Oakhurst area. He was a bank manager for, I want to say, about 45 years. Committed Rotarian, just a wonderful individual. Unfortunately passed away last month, so he will be missed. With that, I would like to invite Pastor Alex Hernandez with Grace Point Ministries to come lead us in the invocation, and then I would ask our tax collector, Tracy Kennedy, to join us or to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to each and every board member. Morning to everybody that's here today. I'm honored to be here today, to be able to open up in prayer. I'm going to ask that we would all bow our heads and close our eyes in reverence to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with gratitude for this opportunity to gather and serve. We thank you for every leader present, for the responsibility placed upon them to guide and make decisions that affect this community. Lord, your word declares in James 1:5 that if any lacks wisdom, they can ask of you, and you will give generously. So today, we ask for wisdom, clear minds, steady hearts, and discernment in every decision. We pray for unity in this room and that all differences will be handled with respect and dignity. We speak peace over this meeting, clarity over every issue, fairness and progress, and blessings over all your people. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen and amen.
Okay, ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. Thank you for that. We're going to move on to public comment. So the first 15 minutes of each regular session are set aside for members of the public to address the board on any matter under the jurisdiction of the board, but not appearing on the agenda. The board will not take action on any items presented under public comment. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the board is asked to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet at the podium and state their name and county of residence for the record. Looks like we have some public comment.
Kind of public. Tracy Kennedy, your treasure tax collector. And I'm just here to let everybody know that April 10th is fast approaching, the second installment deadline for property taxes. They're due by 5 o'clock in the office, or they have to be postmarked by Friday. We are expecting over $80 million to be collected this week because $40 million is coming in impound accounts, and then the rest will come in at the last minute, like it always does. So probably about 30,000 payments have already been posted, and we're expecting another 30,000 for this week by the time April 10th rolls around. Also, we are getting ready for our tax defaulted land sale. It's going to start May 11th online, and it will go for a week online through Bid for Assets. So it's just a short 30 days away. In the meantime, we'll be in, this week, we'll probably get between 100 and 200 taxpayers walking in per day, and at least that many emails and phone calls. Just over the weekend, we collected over $1.5 million in credit cards, and e-checks are free. And so that was the bulk of the payments. And just one thing about Doug Deering, years and years ago, we were in the old building, Becky Martinez, County Clerk Recorder, and we set up a satellite office before it was cool at the Yosemite Bank. And Doug Deering gave us a desk and a phone, and we hired a lady up there, if you remember her, Lita Lamming, and she manned it for us, and we would get a shuttle back and forth for business licenses and other things that she would take payments for. So we had a satellite office probably in the early to mid-90s up there. Like I said, back before it was cool.
A real trendsetter.
Yeah, we were, see? And then 30 years later, here we are again. Anyway, thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you for sharing that. I
All right,
appreciate it.
bye.
All right, and it looks like we do have some public comment online. Ashley, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, Supervisors, CEO, Council, staff, and attendees. My name is Ashley Marie Suarez. I am a Housing and Land Use Policy Advocate with Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability and work alongside communities in rural and disadvantaged areas, including La Viña and Fairmead, to eradicate environmental injustice and advocate for sound policy. Yesterday morning, I submitted a comment letter to the Planning Department and to the board regarding the county's 2025 annual progress report. So I do encourage all board members to please take a look at that short letter for more detail regarding the comment I will be sharing this morning. On October 14th of 2025, this board approved and adopted the sixth cycle housing element, which is a critical plan that outlines steps the county will take to facilitate more housing units, bridge the gap in housing resources, and create strong policies that will address fair housing issues. And according to the California Government Code, Section 65400, once the legislative body has adopted all or part of the general plan, including the housing element, the planning agency must provide an annual progress report known as the APR to the legislative body, the Office of Planning and Research, and the Housing and Community Development, known as HCD, by April 1st of every year. And it's also required that the county allow the public to comment orally or written comments on the annual progress report prior to the approval and the submission to the state. To date, from my understanding, the county has not agendized the annual progress report for input from the general public. And so it's critical that the county present the 2025 APR to the general public and to the board to include details and data that are responsive to the program commitments and comply with the adopted housing element, or at least state whether or not the county has made any progress on the implementation to date. The transparency is necessary to provide details on which programs will allow the county to reach their local planning goals for all unincorporated communities in Madera County. And so the housing element doesn't really end at the adoption, but rather it continues through implementation, as the goals cannot be met without the establishment of programs and the adoption of the policies. Therefore, we're urging the county to agendize their APR to allow for public participation, including providing feedback on the current progress, for residents to ask questions and share concerns of the progress or lack thereof. In the event that the county has already bypassed the public participation and the presentation to the Board of Supervisors requirement and has already submitted the APR to the state, we do urge that the county agendize the APR, provide multiple options for teleconferencing with two-way communication options that allow for members of the public that may not have access to the internet or to a computer, and who are unable to use video applications to engage, and then to resubmit a revised APR to HCD. We really appreciate your time and consideration. We hope that this is agendized as soon as possible. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Unless there are any additional comments online or in the room, we're going to move on to the consent calendar. So all matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion unless an item is pulled by a member of the board. Do we have any items that we would like to pull for further discussion or consideration? Seeing none, we'll look for some public comment in regards to the consent calendar. Do we have any public comment in the room or online?
None online.
All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Move to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhaugh.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers.
Yes.
Chair McCulley.
Aye.
Vote passes 4-0.
All right, with that, we're going to move on to our discussion items. Our first item is item 8A.
Behavioral Health Services Department, presentation of a proclamation recognizing April 2026 as Alcohol Awareness Month.
Excellent. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Can you push your button? On the bottom.
The one that says push.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Maricela Turkelson, Program Supervisor with Behavioral Health Services. Thank you for having us this morning. Today, I really just wanted to talk about the purpose and significance of Alcohol Awareness Month and why it matters here in Madera County. As you can see, we have a big crew with us today, and just because it's a passionate topic we have. Here in Madera County, Alcohol Awareness Month is observed each April to increase public understanding about the dangers of alcohol misuse and to reduce that stigma associated in seeking help. Its purpose is not just to educate, but to encourage prevention and recovery. Here in Madera County, the impact is really real. According to local health data, about 16.4% adults report binge drinking or heavy drinking. That means that 1 in 5 adults may be engaging in risky or dangerous behaviors. The consequences also go beyond individual health. Recent data shows that in 2023 alone, there were 31 alcohol-involved crash victims that were killed or injured here in Madera County, along with over 260 DUI arrests. These numbers represent lives lost, families affected, and communities changed. But there is hope. Local programs in Madera County provide prevention, education, and treatment services, showing that recovery is possible and support is available. So Alcohol Awareness Month is really a call to action. By raising awareness and reducing stigma and promoting healthy behaviors, we can work together to make Madera County a stronger community. So with that, we have, I want to introduce Melissa Gamis, and she's going to talk a little bit about some of the events and some of the activities our Madera youth leaders are doing here in the county to help bring awareness.
Welcome.
Good morning. Brought you a little goodie. I'm Melissa Gamis with Behavioral Health Services. The California Friday Night Live Collaborative support alcohol, tobacco, and other drug prevention programs implemented across 55 counties in the state of California with over 500 FNL chapters and more than 20,000 youth across across California. FNL programs create opportunities for youth to make meaningful contributions and improve their neighborhoods, their schools, communities through outreach, education, service, and advocacy. Each year, FNL Month serves as a statewide opportunity to educate decision makers, engage community partners, amplify prevention messages, and invite others to support and partner with FNL youth leaders. In California, underage drinking plays a monumental role in risky behaviors that can significantly impact the lives of young people and those around them. With so much risk, it is hard to comprehend why youth continue to report easy access to alcohol, experience community norms that condone underage and binge drinking, and are consistently bombarded with media messages that promote alcohol consumption. Madera County sits in Region 1 in the state of California. Madera youth leaders who currently represent Madera County are heading a campaign project in partnership with the California Friday Night Live Partnership and the importance of prevention of underage drinking. At this time, please allow me to introduce members of our Madera youth leaders and our adult allies. And as we proclaim this month and every day to bring awareness and support surrounding alcohol misuse, we would like to acknowledge and recognize the amazing BHS SUD team, can you guys stand? That support those in treatment for alcohol. Heroes right there. And then on behalf of all of our community partners, our coalitions, our youth programs, and the entire community standing with us in these efforts and to share the message of hope, we do recover Madera.
Thank you, Melissa.
And we do have some events happening this weekend. Throughout the month, there will be free alcohol screenings at all of the BHS sites. And then on the 18th, our Madera youth leaders are hosting an event that is all going to be youth-led, youth-developed, youth-made. And then we'll be doing other activities out at Hope House, Madera County First Five for the parents, and Then our Advocacy Day is April the 24th, so we'll be having an event at the library and then up in Oakhurst as well, and Chowchilla. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for that. It's great to see our youth involved in so many activities to create awareness around this important topic. Any comments, questions from my colleagues? Okay. Seeing none, I'd like to invite the team up as well as our youth leaders so we can take a picture. We have a proclamation here. We'd love to get you all up. So everybody come on up. We're going to center up here.
Want us back here? Or?
Yeah, why don't you guys get back here?
Hey, how are you? I thought you were.
Who wants to be in the middle?
I was looking down when.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Thank you
Good.
so much.
That's funny. Hopefully we were looking up when.
Oh, look at this.
All right, do we have any public comment in regards to item 8A?
None online.
Excellent. Hearing none, we're going to move on to item 8B.
Public Health Department presentation of a proclamation recognizing April 6th through April 12th, 2026 as National Public Health Week.
Excellent. Good morning, Sarah.
It'll be
I heard you
Amalia
have
today.
a short presentation for us.
Very short. Good morning, Chair and board members. Amalia Hernandez, Assistant Public Health Director. Sarah is not able to do the presentation. She's not feeling really well, so I'll do it for her today. But it's an honor to be here to celebrate and acknowledge National Public Health Week. Today, let me hear. Right. This year's theme is Ready, Set, Action. This theme really reflects public health at its core, as in being ready to respond, set with the right systems and partnerships in place, and taking action to improve our health of our communities. Today, we are especially proud to recognize our 2026 Public Health Champions, individuals and partners who go above and beyond to serve our community. These champions represent the heart of public health, whether they are helping residents access health care, support individuals and families facing greatest challenges, strengthening community connections, or stepping in when it matters. Their work makes a meaningful and long-lasting impact in our community. Today, we're here to honor 4 public health champions, but I need to also acknowledge our public health team. Our team does this every day with no questions. They get up every morning to serve our community in various ways. So they're not here, but I know that they're watching us. So thank you for everything that you do for our community. Our first public health champion, it's Tim Curley. As a co-chair of the Live Well Madera Coalition and the Department of Public and the Director of Public Policy and Advanced Advocacy at the Valley Children's Healthcare, Tim played a critical role in advancing community health priorities. Through strong leadership and strategic partnership, his abilities to bring partners together, align efforts across sectors, and keep a focus on long-term impact has helped strengthen the coalition's work across the county. Tim brings a thoughtful and solution-oriented approach to complex issues, especially when navigating policy and system-level changes. His work helps ensure the community voice and sustainability solutions are at the forefront of our collective efforts. What truly sets him apart from his commitment to collaboration is service. He shows up as a trusted partner, a consistent leader, and a strong advocate for the communities that we serve. Please join us in recognizing Tim as the 2026 Public Health Champion for his leadership, partnership, and dedication to improving health outcomes in Madera County.
Thank you, Amalia and Sarah and the rest of the public health team that just does, as you said, tremendous work every day. It's been a real joy to work with Madera County Public Health. And I really appreciate the support that all of you provide this department. They can't do their work alone. They need you, and you're there behind them, and it's great to see. And it really does take a team effort throughout the community. And I think that is behind Valley Children's commitment to working with Madera County on this work. The needs are too big for any one organization to tackle by themselves. So I just really appreciate the recognition. Part of my family's here. Sarah, my wife, is here. My son, George, his wife, Ava. And it's also a real honor to be recognized alongside the other folks who are being recognized, because in many ways, they are really the champions of the champions. So it's a real treat to be able to be standing here alongside them as well. So thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, our next public health champion is Maddie Mendez. I think she's not. Oh, she is here. She made it. Okay. In her role as Executive Director of the Community Action Partnership of Madera County and the co-chair of Live Well Madera County Coalition, Maddie demonstrates leadership grounded in service, collaboration, and community impact. She has been instrumental in strengthening partner programs that support families, addressing social and economic challenges, and ensuring that the resources reach those who need them the most. Maddie's leadership extends beyond her organization. As a coalition co-chair, she plays a key role in fostering partnerships across sectors, aligning efforts, and helping guide collective action towards shared community goals. She is known for her compassion, dedication, and ability to bring together around a common purpose. We are grateful for Maddie's leadership and proud to recognize her as a public health champion.
Good morning. Board, Live Well Madera County is a collaboration of public, private. If you ever get a chance to come in and attend the meetings, it is a long-standing and just a wonderful project to be a part of. But to receive this alongside Tim, who is a champion amongst the community and our healthcare, is an honor. On behalf of the backbone team of public health, on behalf of the CAPMC staff that participate, I receive this humbly, and I thank the public health for acknowledging our work. Thank you.
And congratulations to Maddie, who was also recognized for the Women's History Month. You do a lot of great work, so thank you and your staff.
Congratulations. And our next champion is Eduardo Gutierrez, and he is with Camarena Health. I don't believe he's here today. Okay, I'll start off talking a little bit about him because I'm sure he's going to be able to watch this later. As I mentioned, he works with Camarena Health. That is a long-standing and valued partner in advancing health and well-being in our community. As part of the call center team in Oakers, he reflects our mission to protect, lead, and empower. Through his dedication to supporting some of the most underserved residents, Eduardo is a partner to the Adult Protective Services, consistently stepping in to help coordinate medical services for clients living in the mountain communities where access to care can be especially challenging. With limited transportation options, many seniors face significant barriers receiving timely care, but Eduardo works tirelessly to help navigate these challenges. He works closely with our adult protective services nurses and social workers to identify available sources and connect clients to care, where it helps staff understand how to access transportation vouchers through Camarena Health or finding alternative solutions. Eduardo goes the extra mile to ensure no one is left behind. Eduardo's commitment to serve, collaboration, and community partnership makes a meaningful difference in the lives of those who we serve. Eduardo is unable to attend today, and we were hoping someone from Camarena was available, but we will present this award to him in person. Thank you. Our last champion, Brian Preciado, he is one of our staff. Brian's journey with our department is a true example of growth, commitment, and passion for public health. Starting as a Pathway Fellow, he quickly demonstrated his dedication and was brought on as an extra help position, later earning a permanent role as a health education coordinator for our team. Throughout his time with us, Brian has made meaningful contributions across multiple programs. He's supported and led efforts with our mobile team, helped coordinate the Live Well Madera County Coalition, and most recently has taken a key role in coordinating our reaccreditation efforts. Beyond his formal responsibilities, Brian has deeply engaged strengthening our department's culture. Through his involvement in the Culture Club, he has helped boost staff morale, created connections, and contribute to a positive and supportive work environment. While we are sad to see him go, we are incredibly proud as he steps into the next chapter of his life, which is to pursue medical school. There's no doubt he will continue to make lasting impact in this health field. Please join us in recognizing Brian Preciado as a public health champion for his dedication, growth, and the many contributions he has made to our department and our community.
Good morning. I put here a few things I'd like to share with everyone, if that's okay. So, good morning, Chair and members of the board. I'm really grateful to be honored and recognized as one of this year's public health champions, along with the others that I've had the opportunity to work with as well. I do want to start off by thanking a program that was mentioned by Amalia, the Pathways to Public Health Fellowship Program. This program, for those of you who may not be aware, is a training program that places recent college graduates, like myself, at a health department in California for a year, with the goal of developing them as the next generation of public health professionals here in California. The reason I bring this up is because I was a part of this program, and through it, as you all heard, I was able to join the team here at our public health department and serve the community that I was a part of. During my year in this program, I was able to train and grow as a new public health professional under the guidance and mentorship of amazing public health staff that we have mentioned as well. I was also lucky that I was able to join the team back in May of 2024, and it's crazy to think that it's already been 2 years because time has flown by, and I've been able to engage in a lot of projects that have been really meaningful to me and that have been able to give back to the community that we all serve, as some of them that have been mentioned already. Looking back at this experience as a whole, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge that this opportunity really came to be because of two reasons: the public health leadership team, but also the support of this board. So to the leadership team at Public Health, thank you for dedicating the time, the staff, and the resources needed to support this training program. Myself and the 5 other fellows that have gone through this program here at the Public Health Department have had such great mentorship experiences, and I know that we're each going to take away all that we've learned here to the rest of our careers. And to this board, I want to thank you as well. Your ongoing support for the many types of internship and training programs across all of Madera County departments, not just public health. Each department has their own way of giving back to students and trainees to train them to become that next generation of talented professionals. And your support of those programs is really why I'm here today as well. So thank you for your support of these. This really allows Madera County to continue to recruit, to train, and to retain the next generation of professionals who want to serve the people of Madera. I'll wrap it up here by saying thank you to my family, especially my parents and my sister who are here with us today. Les quiero dar gracias a mi familia por todo su apoyo y por enseñarme el valor de servir a los demás y a nuestra comunidad. Este reconocimiento como campeón de salud pública también lo comparto con ustedes. Once again, thank you so much for your time, and to the leadership team for this recognition. Thank you.
I think we finally got the PowerPoint to sync. So as part of Public Health, National Public Health Week, every year we do various activities so that we can get the community to understand what public health does. So if you don't follow us on social media, please do so. We are doing active media campaigns where you'll see multiple of our staff showing their different positions, what they do for the community. And we will be hosting a One Stop for Health community fair, and that is a Friday from 9 to 2. So come get to know our team and get some services. And then on Saturday, we'll be participating at the Strides for Diabetes Run. And Sunday, we're doing a tobacco litter park cleanup. And there's some flyers for everyone to have. Thank you so much for your time.
Excellent. Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Amalia. I really can't think of a better motto for public health than ready, set, action. Like, let's go, let's get some stuff done, right? So I appreciate the presentation. Brian, some wonderful words. Tim, not surprised to see you there. Maddie, certainly not surprised to see you there. And hope to hear from Eduardo in the not too distant future. Any comments from my colleagues?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'd just like to thank the public health leadership team for recognizing the people that they did, and so it's not just high-level executives; it's the people that are actually doing the work. And I think it's really fun to see these recognitions because we get to take a little deeper dive into what these departments actually do and how they impact. You know, when we hear about the work that people are doing with adult protective services and all the different facets of public health, I think it's really good for all of us just to get a reminder of the complexity and the real on-the-ground work that we actually do. So thank you for that, and thank you to the people that were being recognized. It seems like you guys are doing some great work. Brian Preciado, thank you. Eduardo couldn't be here. Obviously, Maddie Mendez, she's a community rock star. She just is. And to Tim Curley, I work closely with Tim quite a bit due to Valley Children's Hospital being in District 1. And he's just been such a steady hand delivering, or bridging that gap, delivering healthcare services in this community. And he's just such an important cog in this machine that helps everything move forward. And thank you again for all of the support that you've given our residents. He shows up to a lot of the town halls that I have, the many that I have, too many people say. But hey, April 29th at the Ranchos Libraries. We may have another town hall. But thank you again for all of the support, and well-deserved, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any other comments?
I'll just echo both Supervisor McCauley and Supervisor Wamhoff's comments, and I want to personally tell Brian, come back when you're done. You're always welcome here, so thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Unless there are any additional comments, I'd like to invite everybody back up to take some pictures. And then family, if you guys want to come up for a secondary set of pictures, that'd be wonderful as well. So.
Okay, this time we won't look good. You guys want us to do? Okay.
The clicker.
First trip over Valley Shore 15 years ago. All right, do we have any public comment in regards to item 8B?
None online.
Excellent. With that, we're going to move on to item 8C.
Social Services Department, presentation of a proclamation recognizing April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month.
Morning, Nikki.
I think Brian already left, but I wanted to say a special thank you to him because he's been great as part of the backbone team and with Live Well and Growing Healthy Families. So, good morning. I'm Nikki Matus, Deputy Director of Social Services over Child Welfare. Each April, Child Abuse Prevention Month reminds us of the shared responsibility we hold to protect the safety, well-being, and future of every child in Madera County. While today we raise awareness, the work of prevention happens every day through strong families, supportive communities, and partnerships across our schools and agencies and neighborhoods. Child abuse and neglect are not only tragic events in a child's life, they are preventable. When families are supported, when caregivers have access to resources, and when communities stay connected, children are safer and healthier. I want to acknowledge the Board of Supervisors, the many professionals, community partners, foster caregivers, and advocates who work tirelessly to strengthen families and intervene when children need protection. Your commitment makes a difference. As we recognize this month, let us reaffirm our dedication to creating a community where all children can grow up safe, nurtured, and able to reach their full potential. Prevention is not one action, it's a culture, and together we have the power to build it. Thank you for proclaiming April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Madera County and for your continued support of the children and families we serve. I'm going to ask Jennifer to come up and share some of the great activities that we're working on together as a community.
Good morning, Jennifer.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Coronado with CAPMC Victim Services. Again, we have many different events this month. It's also Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so we're Teal Day. Thank you, Supervisor. Unfortunately, in Madera County, a lot of what we see in terms of child abuse is sexual abuse. If you guys are aware, the Child Advocacy Center is located at CAPMC. We served 96 children in 2025, and 80 of those were sexual abuse. 12 were physical abuse, and 4 were witnesses of a crime. Most of those cases where they were witnesses of domestic violence. So of those children that enter our center, we've had 19 that were the ages of 0 to 5, ages 6 to 10, 32. 11 to 17, 55. So obviously, prevention is key, right? In order to stop and prevent abuse to continue, we have to be aware. Unfortunately, these crimes are committed by people they know. It's a parent, it's in the home, it's a relative, friends of the family. Out of all those cases, we only had one where the perp was unknown. So that means 95 of those 96, the children knew their abuser. So one of the pieces that we were missing in victim services is prevention, right? We're intervention. But now that the Madera County Child Abuse Prevention Council is now incorporated into community action, we can now really try and push that prevention piece that we were missing. So we're happy to incorporate that into our services and start reaching out and just educate. You know, if we could reach one person, that can minimize 3 being abused. So again, thank you very much for supporting all the agencies and recognizing, you know, these crimes, these abuse. So again, thank you for the awareness, and it's also Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So we do have our Walk a Mile event next Friday to bring awareness. So bring your heels and come out and join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that presentation, and thank you, Nikki, as well.
Sorry, I forgot one thing. We are also hosting a child abuse conference. It was usually done by MC Capsy, so now us. So that is April 30th. We are actually incorporating the LISA project. So if you've never been or heard of the LISA project, it's a jewel in Madera County. No, it's special, especially for those that are going to work in the field. It gives you basically the experience to see what these homes look like. Abused, neglected children. As an advocate, you know, we don't usually enter those homes, but going through the LISA project, I've recognized 2. As an advocate walking in, going, I've seen this house. So it's a really, really great opportunity for the community to learn and see what it looks like for a child to be in an abusive situation. And then we're also going to have a speaker from CASA, Carmina Ramos, who's going to kind of help us deal with the emotions that are going to come from going through that experience, but also how seeing the eyes of that trauma from a child. So again, registration will be up later today, and it's April 30th. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Jennifer. Heartbreaking and gut-wrenching at the same time. So, but thank you for raising awareness. Any comments, Supervisor?
Yeah, I just wanted to say this is a critically important endeavor, and that if there were only one, that's one too many. I can tell you that from firsthand that being abused leaves scars that never go away. I'm 66 years old, and I still suffer with nightmares from abuse. And it's something that is near and dear to me as I look at my grandchildren and think how precious they really are and how innocent and how vulnerable. And I think any society is judged by how it treats the most vulnerable among us. And when we fail to do that, when we fail to protect them, we're destroying ourselves from within. And I just think it's a very important subject that we often, and I bring up my own circumstances only because I think it's important that people are aware that those around us, some of us know what that's like and what we're talking about when we say that. And it affects you for the rest of your life. It changes your perspective about yourself. It affects those around you. And so I'm grateful for the endeavor, and thank you. Keep up the good work.
And on a positive note, it's one of the rare occasions that Bobby and Dave get to dust off their high heels and do a walk a mile in their shoes. So. Next Friday, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I have extras if you need any. So.
They don't need them. They have them.
Jennifer, and thank you and your staff. You have a small but very mighty staff. As a former advocate at Victim Services and a prevention educator, I find myself now when I'm changing Liliana saying, okay, this is a good touch, you're not going to let anyone touch you. And so as early as 2 years old, you're trying to embed that because again, like one is one too many. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you. With that, I'd ask that we come down and take a little picture real quick. And
I wear mine frequently, unlike you.
all right, at this time, we'll be looking for any public comment on item 8C.
None online.
Hearing none, we're going to move on to item 8D.
Madera County Economic Development Commission, presentation of and request of approval of the basic service level budget for fiscal year 2026-2027 as submitted.
Good morning, Christina.
Good morning. All right. So how do they see it? All right, well, good morning, Honorable Chair, Supervisors. I'm Christina Gallagher, the Executive Director for Madera County Economic Development Commission. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I'm here to discuss the MCD's budget request as well as to provide a brief overview of our organization. At the MCEDC, our work focuses on several key areas, including marketing, lead generation and tracking, and maintaining memberships in various regional and statewide organizations. In addition, I provide our board and executive committee with legislative and state budget updates related to economic development. The MCEDC is a joint powers authority made up of the Madera County, City of Madera, and Chowchilla. Our mission is to position Madera County in a way that maximizes economic viability and expands employment opportunities throughout the region. Our efforts include business attraction, expansion, and retention, as well as guiding businesses through available incentive programs. We also provide data to real estate brokers, local governments, and the public, and we administer local loan programs to support economic development throughout the region. We are active at various trade shows throughout the year where we have the opportunity to build relationships with developers, brokers, and site selectors. These relationships are critical and can ultimately lead to attracting a wide range of businesses to Madera. In addition, the MCEDC produces several publications, including our annual report, marketing packet, and real estate update as part of our ongoing efforts to market the county. We also actively use our e-newsletter, which reaches more than 1,000 subscribers. Through Through the newsletter, we share information on available properties, economic development activity in the county, and important events taking place throughout the community. Additionally, we have recently updated our website. The updated site highlights new developments, includes an FAQ page, and provides access to monthly updates that the MCEDC presents to the executive committee and board meetings. As part of our marketing efforts, the MCEDC maintains active social media accounts, which we use to promote and highlight business groundbreakings and grand openings and share relevant news and activities. MCEDC has also launched a new initiative to highlight both new and established businesses throughout the county. Through our social media accounts and newsletter, we aim to encourage residents to shop locally, increase tourism, and foster community support for local businesses. MCEDC receives leads through our website, our membership with the Central Valley EDC, GoBiz, and direct requests from brokers and site selection companies. I'd like to highlight our participation in the GoBiz Business Ready Sites program, through which we submitted 2 business-ready sites within the county. These sites have been approved and are now live on their website. This program is highly selective, making this a significant accomplishment. Looking back at 2025, the industrial market in Madera County remains strong and competitive. Vacancy rates dropped 2.8%, reflecting a limited supply of available space and sustained demand from industrial users. On the retail side, Madera County's retail vacancy rate was at 5.7%. In response, the MCEDC has been actively engaged in working with new businesses to explore opportunities for future growth. MCEDC engages in confidential discussions to explore new opportunities and has been actively involved in a number of projects with both local businesses and local governments. We help guide businesses through incentive programs, workforce initiatives, and connect them with valuable resources, and all while addressing the challenges they may encounter. MCEDC regularly updates the executive committee and the board on legislative and state budget activities that may affect economic development in Madera. MCEDC has also drafted new legislative principles which provide a clear framework for my office to take positions on relevant bills. We also organized a legislative mission trip for the MCEDC executive committee to strengthen our engagement with state leaders. MCEDC is a board member of the Madera County Workforce Development Board, and we maintain regular contact with the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. MCEDC hosts monthly meetings with the Greater Madera County Industrial Association and are active in the Central Valley EDC. Finally, our budget request. The county covers our basic service level budget at 50.76%. The city of Madera covers 40.86%, and the city of Chowchilla at 8.38%, all based proportionally on population. The difference between the 2025-26 budget and the 26-27 budget is an increase of $9,822.28, which equates to $241,337.61. This budget supports increases in operational expenses, including salary adjustments and health care insurance, ensuring that MCEDC can continue to provide high-quality services to the region. In total, our budget request for fiscal year 26-27 from all local government agencies in the JPA would equate to $475,448.40. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Christina. This time I'll look to my colleagues for any questions, comments they may have in regards to the presentation. Seeing none, we'll look to the public for any public comment in the room or online.
None online.
Seeing no public comment, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Wamhaugh.
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers.
Yes.
Chair McCauley.
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Excellent. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to move on to item 8E.
Agricultural Commissioner Seals of Weights and Measures Department, introduction of an ordinance amending Chapter 5.20 of Chapter 5 of the Madera County Code pertaining to weights and measures, commercial weighing and measure device registration. Waive the first reading and set the second reading for May the 12th, 2026.
Good morning, Rusty.
Good morning. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. This ordinance update for Chapter 5.20 of the weights and measures in the County Code of Ordinances is basically a language cleanup. 2007, 2008, there were fee schedules that were included in the original ordinance as they were phased in. All those are in place, and so we're just kind of really just doing a language cleanup. And this is in response to the legislative cycle of 2023-24. There were some fee increases from the state legislator on device fees, and so we're going to look to incorporate those probably in January. Currently, when we do our billing for our fees, we do those on the fiscal year, and so we're going to reevaluate those when we do those in July, and we'll look possibly to come back and update our fee schedule in January. So this is just really a language cleanup, but it doesn't change anything at this point. Any questions?
Thank you for that presentation. Do we have any comments, questions from the board? Any public comment in the room or online?
None online.
And we'll bring it back to the board for action.
I move that we waive the first reading and set the second reading for May 12th, 2026.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Wamhoff.
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers.
Yes.
Chair McCauley.
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Thank you, Karen. We'll move to item 8F.
County Administration Department, CWDG grant and budget adjustments. Discussion and consideration of entering into an agreement with the Coarse Cold Resource Conservation District in the amount of $534,343 for work to be carried out under the 2024 Community Wildfire Defense Grant Program from the USDA Forest Service for a term ending September 30th, 2029, and authorize the chair to sign. Discussion and consideration of approval of receipt of unanticipated revenue 25-076 in the amount of $534,343 derived from Wildfire Defense Grant / Federal Other to Professional and Specialized Services for fiscal year 2025-2026. 4 votes are required.
Good morning, Tristan.
Morning. Again, Tristan Champ, County Grants Officer from County Administration. And with me today are Whitney Lacat and Kyle Geed from the Coarse Gold Resource Conservation District. And this is not the first time I've been before the board on this particular grant item, but back in October 2023, we submitted an application where the county submitted an application to the U.S. Forest Service for their round 2 of their Community Wildfire Defense Grant Program, or CWDG grant program, and we were in partnership with Coarse Gold Resource Conservation District as the proposal cooperator. Our project was intended to provide for the long-term continuation of activities and benefits that resulted from a fiscal year 2022 County Coordinated Grant Program. And the proposed project under the CWDG grant will implement Firewise USA and other wildfire mitigation and outreach, education, and activities leading to the establishment of Firewise or more Firewise communities and fuels treatment projects in the fire-prone communities of eastern Madera County. The CWDG grant was awarded its full ask of $534,343,000 in December 2024, and your board approved entering into a contract with the U.S. Forest Service for the grant in January 2025. However, disruptions at the federal level in 2025 delayed the U.S. Forest Service approval of the contract until September 2025, and then communications issues with the Forest Service delayed notification that the grant had been fully approved until January of this year. And we are now, county staff, myself, and Coarse Gold Resource Conservation District, we're now coordinating to get the project implemented. And under this proposed arrangement, it is intended that the county will serve as the fiscal agent and grant manager for the award, working with the Coarse Gold Resource Conservation District as our prime contractor. CRCD intends themselves to subcontract with the Yosemite Sequoia Resource Conservation and Development Council, as well as the Eastern Madera County Fire Safe Council, to implement and manage the day-to-day activities of this project, again with county oversight. And it is the, and again, your board is being asked to authorize signing of the contract with the county for work to be conducted under the CWDG grant project, and approval of the receipt of unanticipated revenue number 25076 to appropriate the $543,000 in awarded funds and to be expended and reimbursed by the grant. And I'm happy to take any questions on the project, and as our representatives from the Core School Resource Conservation.
Thank you for the presentation, Tristan. Any comments, questions from my colleagues? Just want to make a quick comment, or maybe a couple comments. I love this project for a couple reasons. I mean, it's a great combination of, local partners, working with the feds, but, we're also using some state funding to help advance the Firewise community project, which has just been such a great success under CRCD. I think we've got like 32, 33 different communities enlisted. And what that means for the public is I think conservative estimates would put it at close to $1 million a year in insurance premiums that, folks are saving as a result of this program that the county continues to support. Beyond those premium savings, which those dollars obviously go right back into, our local economy, we're creating a safer community, which helps us save dollars on the back end. So I just want to, again, commend CRCD as well as Tristan Champ, our county grant writer, for all the great work they're doing, lifting up this program and partnering with our local partners in fire risk reduction. So unless there are any comments from my colleagues, we're going to look for the public for public comment, of course. Now would be your opportunity for public comment, sir.
Unsure. Thank you, sir.
And if you could please state your name and county for the record.
Certainly. Christopher Garza, I'm a resident of Madera County. I have a written statement and documents from the California Secretary of State for review by each member of the board. If I could submit those. Thank you, Ms. Thank you for the time to speak, Mr. Chair, and the rest of your supervisors. I'm here today regarding agenda item 15505 and the contractor you have chosen as a recipient of the grant the county has received. Firstly, there's no record of a request for proposal from contractors to apply to receive this contract. As such, this appears to be a no-bid contract being awarded by the county involving federal grant money. Secondly, a simple search of the California Secretary of State biz file system shows that a nonprofit corporation for public benefit by the name Core School Resource Conservation District has an address that differs from the address listed in the contract for the contractor with the same name. Contractor chosen by Madera County does not have a physical address, and the officers of the district do not match those on the Secretary of State website. I'm providing a business filing certificate for all supervisors to review that shows the correct address for this organization. Given the prevalence of fraud in this state, especially involving federal money and NGOs, I cannot see how this contract and grant money can be awarded to this organization. The residents of the district are being deceived and robbed of real safety measures and fuel management projects that would reduce the risk of wildfire within the landscape. Supervisor Rogers mentioned that how we treat the most vulnerable population speaks to the nature of our culture and our community. The elderly and the disabled should be the only priority with these projects, not a priority, not 10% of the project. Should start with disabled and elderly people that are trapped in their homes that they have lived in for decades, who have become unable to reduce the fuel around their homes. So with that said, I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Do we have any additional comments online or in the room?
None online.
All right. We'll bring it back to the board for action, but I just do want to make a quick note for public benefit that I believe in this instance, and Tristan, correct me if I'm wrong, the county will be acting as the fiscal agent for this grant, and so there's going to be plenty of opportunities for the county to provide oversight for how the funds are being spent and how the program is running. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you for that.
That's been our, we've used the similar arrangement with our county coordinator grant, and it's worked quite successfully. We're doing the same thing on actually a fuels reduction project with the Yosemite Sequoia Resource Conservation and Development Council. I'll be coming before the board at a future meeting date to approve the contract with that organization for the work to be done under that grant. And so we are, this is ultimately the county is the lead applicant on this grant, and we are managing and overseeing the funds and the project activities.
Thank you for that, Tristan. With that, I'll look to the board for action.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Wamhoff.
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers.
Yes.
Chair McCulley.
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
And with that, we're going to move on to item 8G.
Behavioral Health Services Department discussion and consideration of entering into a purchase and sales agreement for real property at 117 R Street, Madera, APN 010-062-016 for Madera County Behavioral Health Services Office, building and related public purposes in the amount of $1,738,000 plus all applicable closing costs, including escrow, title, recording fees, and authorized behavioral health services acting director to sign.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Taylor McAdam. I'm Assistant Director for Behavioral Health. Today I'm here to present for consideration of purchase of the R Street building, which is currently being occupied by our behavioral health team. The building to be considered is at 117 R Street here in Madera, California. This is right off of Pine and Yosemite. The purchase price is $1,738,000 and including closing costs. This purchase will be funded entirely through the Mental Health Service Act, or MHSA funds, and will have no impact to the county general fund. Currently, this facility is being used for children, youth, and a family recovery center. Provides services for youth experiencing mental health challenges. Some of our key programs include outpatient services, early childhood services between the ages of 0 and 5, juvenile justices involved youth, as well as child welfare involved youth and families. This is a strong team that we're very proud of. They provide quality care and have quick turnaround time for getting referrals in, and very proud of this team that we have there. Additionally, the building is shared by an on-site program called Hope House. This is a drop-in wellness center for adults. There at the program, we offer services that include peer support and life skills education. It also provides group activities such as art therapy. It also has after-school programs for our high school youth. A little bit about the facility and its background. It was built and owned by Bonnie and Gerald Holliday. It was completed in June of 2006 at the county's request. Bonnie and Gerald Holliday are lifelong Madera residents. Bonnie was even a county employee and was chief clerk to the Board of Supervisors at one time. Behavioral health has been the sole tenant since its opening. The strategic benefits of the purchase of this building eliminates ongoing lease costs. It provides long-term cost control and budget stability for our department. It allows for future expansion of children's services. It maintains a central, well-known location for the community and ensures continuity of care and accessibility for our Madera residents. I appreciate your time and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation, Taylor. Do we have any questions, comments from the board?
Chair,
Yes,
just a comment, and I appreciate you including in the slide the funding sources, because a lot of times we throw out millions of dollars here and millions of dollars there, and I think when the public hears those things, they think of, well, I have potholes and we're spending millions of dollars here. So it's important to know on a county level, these funding buckets and where they come from. This is fully funded through MHSA Act.
Correct.
So thank you for including that, and for anybody else, also when presenting on these items, it is helpful, because a lot of people who don't regularly watch these meetings or attend these meetings, they hear these big numbers being thrown around, and it's important for them to know where it's coming from. But it definitely makes sense, from a long-term budget standpoint and operational costs. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Yeah, I think just because potholes make you a little mad and perhaps a little crazy doesn't mean we can use MHSA funds to fix them. So
We can look into that.
Yeah. So great comment. Thank you for that, Supervisor. Yeah, just a shame that we hadn't purchased this building, I guess, 20 years ago or so. So any public comment in regards to this item in the room or online?
None online?
Hearing none, we're going to bring it back to the board for action.
Move to approve.
Second?
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhoff?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Chair McCulley?
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Excellent. We're going to move on to item 8H.
Public Works Department, Administrative Services Division, discussion and consideration to adopt a resolution declaring intentions to establish Gunner Ranch West Enhanced Infrastructure Finance District and its Public Finance Authority.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Dominic Tyberski, Public Works Director. I am before you this morning to request adoption of the resolution declaring the intent to establish Gunner Ranch West Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District, and its Public Financing Authority. As you may recall, on January 13th of this year, your board dissolved the original GRW EIFD, which was established on July 14th, 2020. That was dissolved due to inaction. The Gunner Ranch West EIFD is intended to fund a variety of roadway and regional improvements such as Lanes Bridge realignment, Children's Boulevard widening, and a regional park. And in your packet, there's a more detailed list of all those intended improvements. Integral to the EIFD formation is the Public Financing Authority. The PFA consists of 5 members, 3 of which are the sitting Madera County District 1, 2, and 5 supervisors, with the remaining 2 members of the public being appointed by the Madera County Board of Supervisors. The establishment of this EIFD will reduce the amount of tax revenue received by the county, as a portion will be redirected to these projects. The idea, however, is these infrastructure improvements will increase land values and promote growth, which will ultimately generate additional tax revenues which may not have otherwise occurred. At this time, I recommend approval of the resolution declaring the intent to form the Gunner Ranch West EIFD.
Thank you, Dominic. Any questions, comments from my colleagues?
Just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Eventually, as they proceed forward, we will probably form a CSA, is that correct?
The CSA is already formed.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. My brain is locked up on something else.
No worries.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Any additional comments, questions? Hearing none, we're going to look to the public for any comments they may have, either in the room or online.
None online?
Hearing none, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Wamhoff?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair McCulley?
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Thank you. Let's move on to item 8I. Go too
Public-
far, Dominic.
Public Works Department, Engineering Services Divisions, Construction Management and Inspection Services supporting the State Route 41 Expressway widening project. Discussion and consideration of entering into an agreement with the California Construction Management and Engineering, Inc. in the amount of $10,177,398.34 for construction management and inspection services in support of State Route 41 Expressway widening project, and authorize the chair to sign. Discussion and consideration of approval to authorize the Director of Public Works or his designee to issue a notice to proceed in accordance with the provisions of the contract. Discussion and consideration of approval to authorize the Auditor Controller to issue payments for contingencies up to 10% of the contract award amount per established county policy. Discussion and consideration of approval to authorize the Director of Public Works or his designee to solely issue and approve contract change orders in accordance with Public Contract Code, not to exceed the authorized contingencies.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Before I get started, these next two items are in relation to the State Route 41 project. It's worth noting this is the single largest public works project ever sponsored by Madera County. So that certainly is something worth celebrating and something to be proud of. So the first item, as mentioned by the clerk, is the Construction Management and Engineering Incorporated contract to provide construction management, inspection, surveying, and materials testing for the State Route 41 expansion project. In response to an RFP for professional services advertised by the department, staff received 2 responses on February 13th of this year, of which CCME was determined to be the most qualified for the work. And if I might, I'd like to divert to the slideshow. We could talk a little bit about the project. So this project is intended to widen the existing State Route 41 to 4 lanes from roughly Avenue 10.5 to 0.4 miles north of Avenue 15. Part of the project will build a new overpass at Avenue 11, allowing for southbound traffic to travel separated from the northbound traffic. As you know, 3 lanes go over that existing structure, so it is a little bit tight. Avenue 12 will have a completely new signalized intersection. There is a signal there, but it's going to be widened and expanded, and there is a slide that indicates that as well. The lateral 6.2 box culvert will be extended, which is a significant cost, and there's quite a bit of coordination there with state and federal agencies. And Avenue 15 signal will be modified. So, purpose and need, why are we doing this? Well, with the significant development that has been going on in eastern Madera County, there is a need to improve circulation, route continuity, and interregional mobility. This primarily is to address congestion. This is a very safe corridor, but it is congested, so that's the primary purpose for that. Also to provide for future traffic demands, the Rio Mesa Area Plan, which is approximately 15,000 acres. At the time this was produced, there were 30,000 homes projected over the next 30 years. That number has since increased significantly. And additionally, Community Medical Center, which is at Avenue 12 and 41, has property and intention to build a hospital at some point in the future. So again, talking about the planned development, as you can see on the screen, there are proposed and existing developments, primarily Riverstone and Tesoro are significantly completed, and as part of their environmental mitigation, they are contributing significant amounts to this project. So, as I stated, we will be widening to 4 lanes. Initially, it'll be a limited expressway and then a conventional highway, but it will be 4 lanes all the way to Avenue 15. If you see there on the screen, Avenue 12, which is currently under construction, will be widened to 4 lanes. However, that will branch out to 6 and then 8 at the intersection, and I do have a slide that shows that. So this is the Avenue 11 undercrossing or overcrossing, which will be constructed directly adjacent to the existing bridge. And again, it will allow for the free movement of 4 lanes through this corridor. So what you see before you there, excuse me, is the State Route 41 and Avenue 12 intersection. As you can see to the north, we have 8 lanes as you approach, to the west. To the south, Avenue 12 is also being widened, and then you have the State Route 41 corridor, which in some ways mirrors State Route 41 in Fresno County, south of Fresno, just for a visual perspective. This is the lateral 6.2 canal
and that is the structure which will be widened. We had to create new access points as a result of this, and there was significant coordination with the Bureau. Seems like an easy part of the project, but it was not. It was significant detail. Additionally, as you traverse north, approaching Avenue 15, where there's a number of businesses along 41, we will be constructing raised medians for safety. That way folks can't come out of their driveways and make a left turn across 4 lanes of traffic, which is never advised, but this way we are ensuring that the public's safety is considered. This is towards the end of the project. Excuse me, State Route 41 at Avenue 15. We will be adding dedicated right turn lanes, which I'm not sure if you can discern from the picture there, but we have also added a left turn lane on westbound 15 going into the existing businesses, again, for added safety. Funding of this project. Now this is important to mention because I did state at the beginning that this is sponsored by Madera County. As you can see there, we did benefit from a rural grant. We were awarded congressional discretionary spending just under $2 million. However, the remaining cost will be covered by road impact fees and a TIFIA loan, which the county will be repaying. So of that $75 million, that's either local or grant money. Just looking back over the timeline, obviously we're in 2026, so it's taken us 12 years to get to this point. PA&ED, which is Project Approval Environmental Document, that started in 2014. Those were approved in 2020, which allowed us to move forward with PS&E, which is Plan Specifications and Estimate. 95% was completed roughly in April of 2024. And then to get over that last hurdle, we had to complete all of the right-of-way acquisitions and or secure the rights to occupy those properties before we could get the project ready to list. We did open bids in February, and we intend to start construction in May of 2026, with the final product being completed in May of 2028. So we're looking at approximately 2 years. And before I take questions, so I do want to go back to the item that we're discussing. So again, this is the first of 2 contracts for this project. This is for the construction management, surveying, testing, and inspection services. CCME will be providing that. The cost of this contract is $10,177,398.34. Seems like we could have negotiated away the 34 cents, but anyways. And again, this will be funded by road impact fees, federal grant, congressional discretionary funding, and a federal TIFIA loan. If approved by your board today, as I said, construction will begin towards the end of May, early June, and will last approximately 2 years. Be happy to try to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dominic. Any comments, questions?
I just want to make a quick comment.
Supervisor?
Yeah, one of the side effects of being in a long tenure on the board is you see some of the projects you've worked on forever come to fruition, actually. I remember back with Chowchilla, I actually made the motion to entitle Green Hills. And looking at it today, walking through there, I'm thinking to myself, what a great decision that was. I also had the privilege of, in a couple of the first actions that I took as a supervisor, making the motion to entitle Tesoro Viejo, and then also making the motion to entitle Riverstone. So I'm seeing these things come to fruition 15 years later, basically. These were great decisions. And one of the reasons I brought up CSAs earlier, even though my memory didn't serve me well on the fact that we had already done it, the CSAs fund a lot of their infrastructure, their roads, their sheriff, their fire, all of those things are taken care of by the residents who buy property in those CSAs. And those are a boon to the county in the sense that general fund dollars are not spent on those items as they are in other parts of the county. So for those that, and you always have your naysayers, but for those that might be naysayers about this development in the southeast quarter of Madera County, for one, this has always been the projected growth area of the county. And this has always been a long-standing development that's coming about. It's going to be a premier area. It's already premier. Nationally winning gold awards, more than one, each subdivision, planning awards, number 14 in sales in the nation. And how many of us have waited on Highway 41 for the traffic light and to be able to move forward, the congestion there? Over and over again in my 15 years, that's happened to me. So this is a welcome change to that area, and I appreciate staff's efforts. There was a point at which this was in jeopardy, and all of it was worked very hard on. I know Supervisor Wamhoff put a lot of energy into it, and our current CAO made sure that it got done, and you were there alongside of him. So congratulations to us all. This is a huge win, biggest contract in our history, and really a needed development as far as the continuation of our growth in Madera County. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Wamhoff?
Yeah, thank you, Dominic. To say that I'm excited doesn't quite portray my feelings. I get more text messages from people traveling southbound 41 who are saying they're cursing my name as they're stuck in traffic. So I am elated that that is going to be going away soon. How I got my name pegged to the traffic necessarily, I'm not quite sure. I started 3 years ago. But this project is monumental, and in my opinion, about 7 years too late. When you look at that timeline, it started in 2014, and it took 6 years to get any real progress after Caltrans. This is the frustrating thing about bureaucracy, right? And we can talk about all the bureaucracy that's involved. You talk about, the canal, and when you have to get other partners involved with the federal and state partners, the amount of bureaucracy and time and money that it takes. We've spent $20 million in environmental, saving bugs and bunnies and salamanders and fairy shrimp and hairy orchid grass. And that to me is absolutely unacceptable. And no wonder we can't finish a high-speed rail. It's all because of that same government bureaucracy that we're experiencing here. I am happy that it is officially starting. I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate all the staff that has been involved in this, because there were some times that, that $25 million grant, it was going to disappear. And, there were people, Matt Trieber was on the phone at 6 a.m. on holidays, and we were out of town, and people pulled a lot of strings, and we made this happen. I am so proud of this team for getting this across the finish line. And man, I cannot wait for this groundbreaking, and I can't even wait to cut the ribbon when this thing is actually done. This is going to be such an improvement in the lives of the people in that area. And quite honestly, it's too late, but I'm just thankful that it is finally happening. And any projects moving forward, we'll make sure that we light the fire underneath everyone that needs it in order to speed these projects along, because the time frame for these bigger projects is absolutely unacceptable, and it's no fault of our staff here. So thank you guys, and I'm just so excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Anything? Couple questions for me. You mentioned the TIFIA loan. Yes. And the repayment. How do we plan on paying that loan back?
So the intent is to pay that out of 3 separate EIFDs, and we can repay that up to 30 years. Our goal is to pay it off as quickly as possible. We're still working through the process in terms of what interest rate we might get, but it's a very competitive loan. Right now, I think it's at 4.5%. We may have an opportunity to cut that in half. But those funds will come from 3 EIFDs, so Riverwalk, Tesoro, and Riverstone.
So for those that aren't familiar with what an EIFD is, an Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District. So what you're saying is that the loan will be repaid by the folks within those districts. Is that
absolutely?
Is that what you're saying?
Okay. Yes, there's a 25% incremental tax that will be diverted to pay this loan back. And so it will be those communities, two housing communities and the business community that will direct, or I should say indirectly, be paying for that loan. But yes, they will be paying for it.
Okay. And then we're kind of talking about both items, 8I and 8J here, so I apologize for kind of conflating the two. But can you talk a little bit about the bid estimates on the project? Where did those fall relative to where we are today?
So in terms of the construction management, that came in pretty much where we thought it would. And it does seem high for a construction management contract, but that does include surveying, which is a significant portion, also testing and inspection, and those tests and inspections need to occur regularly on a regular basis. So that is a good dollar amount, that is a good value for the county. Now, when we talk about the construction contract, the estimate, the engineer's estimate, and it was a good estimate, was $72 million. We were fortunate in that the bid was $49.7 million. And there's reasons for that. A couple of things, the state STIP program was short on money, and so they had to defer a number of projects that were intended to bid about the same time. So that created a significant void. Also, we timed the bid towards the end of the calendar year, which is when you typically get more favorable bids. So that's why we opened in February, advertised in January. And because of that, we were actually able to retool our TIFIA loan and save $500,000 in administrative costs and also potentially enjoy a 50% reduction in the rate. So we definitely benefited from the market, and that we're seeing that across the board. So it's not an anomaly. I will say that we have set aside a significant amount of money because there is in the contract the potential for the asphalt to increase. We're hoping that doesn't happen. That's based on oil prices. So, but again, even if that does happen, we're still well under what we anticipated spending.
Which is certainly something to celebrate.
Yes.
Just one more comment, kind of question here. We talk about this being 7 years too late, and I'll agree, the impacts to residents throughout the county have been, felt, to say the least. But when we look back at regional transportation planning documents from 2001, they actually call out that we're going to start construction on expanding the 41 Expressway in fiscal year 25-26, which is pretty amazing that 2001, we got that right on the button. And the reason I bring that up is not to pat ourselves on the back over our planning efforts, but to just kind of point out that, for most people, this is great, but it's not enough. And we have large swaths of 41 that still need improvement. And so I'm curious if just really quickly you can touch on some of the work that we're doing already to expand north of 15, but also perhaps touch on some of the planning initiation documents that we're working on with Caltrans to further extend a capacity building up 41.
Sure. We have a number of cooperative agreements at various stages that Caltrans is preparing on our behalf. PNED, again, project approval environmental document, so that's the initial project document, and then also plans and specifications. So we will be adding an additional north and southbound lane. One will be north of 145, the other will be south of 145 between 15. There's also some additional projects that we're working on where they're going to add turn pockets. I believe it's Road 225. I don't have all the facts and figures memorized, but there's probably about 5 or 6 right now that we are working with Caltrans. And it's important to note that South of Fresno, Caltrans has State Route 41 designated as a non-emphasis route. And so what that means is they don't put anything into it. You know, they maintain it, but in terms of improvements, it's up to the locals. And so that's why we are basically hiring Caltrans to do these projects for us.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Appreciate you indulging my questions. With that, we're going to look for the public. Any public comment in the room or online?
None online.
Hearing none, we're going to bring it back to the board for action.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Wamhoff.
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers.
Yes.
Chair McCauley.
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Thank you. With that, we're going to go to 8J.
Public Works Department, Engineering Services Division, construction of State Route 41 Expressway widening project, discussion and consideration of entering into an agreement with Yarb's Grading and Paving, Inc. in the amount of $49,782,108.50 for construction of State Route 41 Expressway widening project, and authorize the chair to sign. Discussion and consideration of approval to authorize the Director of Public Works or his designee to issue a notice to proceed in accordance with the provisions of the contract. Discussion and consideration of approval to authorize the Auditor Controller to issue payments of contingencies up to 10% of the contract award amount per established county policy.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, on February 26th of this year, the county received 7 bids for this project, 6 of which were considered responsive and responsible. Of the 6, Yarb's Grading and Paving Incorporated, based out of Fowler in Fresno County, was the low bidder at $49,782,158.50, well below the engineer's estimate of $72 million. I do have a note that says pause and give context regarding disparity, but we've already gone over that, so I'll continue. Again, same project we've been talking about. It spans 0.4 miles north of Avenue 10 to approximately 0.4 miles north of Avenue 15. Again, we will be building a new overpass at Avenue 11, new signal and intersection at Avenue 12, and modification of the existing signal at Avenue 15, as well as widening the box culvert at lateral 6.2. If your board approves today, construction will begin late May, early June, and will last approximately 24 months. It is worth noting this construction project will overlap the ongoing Avenue 12 improvements, which are expected to be complete by the end of this calendar year. Additionally, this project will complete the Avenue 12 SR 41 intersection improvements where Avenue 12 stopped about 800 feet short of the intersection, and that was to stay clear of the state right-of-way. So, be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dominic. Any comments, questions from the board? Let's look to the public for any public comment in the room or online.
None online.
All right, bring it back to the board for action.
I move to approve the largest public works contract in Madera County.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Wamhoff.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers.
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Chair McCauley.
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Whoopee, whoopee, whoopee.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to move on to item 9A.
Public Health Department, discussion and consideration of approval of Madera County Department of Public Health to submit applications to the Drug-Free Community Support Program, opportunity number CDC RFA CE 26-001, in the amount up to $125,000 per year for fiscal year 2026 through 2031.
Oof. I feel like you could have done it from your desk.
Thank you, Chair. Matt Treber, your CAO. here representing our Public Health Department. So this was a late item addition. Thank you to the clerk staff for adding this as the addendum, and it is granting authority to our Public Health Department to submit an application to the Drug-Free Community Support Program for the upcoming fiscal years 26 through 2031.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Any comments, questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll look to the public for any public comment in the room or online. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for action. Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhaugh?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair McCauley?
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0.
Thank you. With that, we're going to move on to pending legislation. Do we have any pending legislation today? I don't believe so. Excellent. We're going to move to supervisor and staff reports. We'll start to my right with Supervisor Rogers.
Yes, attended the Regional Health Authority, also the MCTC, and this week will be the FMAAA, Agency on Aging.
Thank you, Supervisor.
I will be attending the CSAC Board of Directors meeting in place of Supervisor Wamhoff starting tomorrow, so I will be out of town for a few days.
Thank you. Supervisor Wamhoff.
Attended several San Joaquin River Conservancy meetings. Thank you for
absolutely
allowing me to be on that. The 5-hour meetings are just amazing, and they are very thorough. So thank you for that. But it is interesting to be a part of that committee and see all the partners that come together to make the river beautiful. I do want to note that I will be having a town hall April 29th at the Ranchos Library at 5:30 in the evening. So I rotate between morning and afternoon meetings to allow different demographic of folks, people who work and the retired folks also, to come in and hear from their county representatives. We typically have people from the Sheriff's Office, CHP, Public Works, planning, the whole menagerie of people that will give a brief presentation and have the ability for the public to ask questions of their government. So that's all I have.
Thank you much. Karen?
Nothing to report, thank you.
No report. Thank you, Chair.
Mr. CIO.
No report, just exciting to see the actions of the board today come to fruition out there. So nothing to report.
Good to see something come to fruition. I just want to point out, last Wednesday, I was able to attend a governor's candidate forum with Supervisor Gonzalez, as well as Chief of Staff De Silva, as well as Melissa, Chief of Staff for District 4. In addition to that, attended task force a couple weeks ago, the California Governor's Task Force on Wildfire and Forest Health. There we heard from a number of specialists, talked with state agencies in regards to funding for forest resilience projects, a number of changes coming down the pipe, which is great. And then lastly, I want to thank Chief of Staff De Silva for all of her work in getting the cities and the county together. That is our mayors and our CAO and CAO Treber together, so we could all have lunch and just kind of talk about the health and wellness of the county. It sounds like we're going to start to meet fairly regularly just so we can have an open dialogue with our city partners, which I think is a wonderful thing. But definitely want to give my hat off to Melissa for all the great work she did in bringing everybody together. So thank you, Melissa. With that, we will call this meeting adjourned.